Hello, today I got my Fairyloot box, and I was a little bummed out because they put a shipping sticker on top of the picture on top, but I am very excited to open it. This is the October box. This is the Love at First Bite theme here. So let me open it up. It's always so pretty. I love the designs. And it says, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." I like that. Raoul Dahl. I've been reading a lot of his stuff recently. He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So this is our spoiler card. And I really like that Fairyloot was one of the few boxes that did something Halloween themed for both September and October. I think a lot of people did it early in September, thinking that you could enjoy it through October, which I understand their reasoning, that's fine, but was it November the 2nd today? I'm still kind of, you see my nails, I'm still sort of celebrating Halloween. I still have my jack-o'-lanterns up. So I kind of appreciate them still getting something gothic, scary. So last month, September, they did Witches Be Crazy, which I absolutely loved. I don't think there's a single thing in there that I don't like. And this month is Love at First Bite, which I'm sure you can guess is about vampires. I can't wait to open this box. And by the way, I got my first Fairyloot box probably like a year ago, and I got the appeal. It's very similar to Crate, but it's from the UK, and it's a little more feminine. It seems like it's for a slightly older audience. Crate seems more like it's kind of kid appropriate, and Fairyloot seems more like at least teenager and young adult. They're both labeled as YA. I find their stuff, it's more fantasy based, is what I was getting at, where Crate does different genres. They do almost completely fantasy books. But they seem to have changed recently. I'm very happy with the changes. We've been getting a lot more practical items, and I don't know, I really like the theming. I've been a lot more happy with them very recently. I've gotten the last 3 months, I think. See, this is, I think, the third month I've gotten in a row, and just been really happy with all the things I've gotten, the theming and everything. So yeah, really happy. And also they're less money now. It used to have to pay a lot of shipping to come to the US, but they have a distribution center now here, and so the shipping came down, I think, about $10, so it's a lot more reasonable now. It used to be a very, very expensive box, which was one of the reasons that I didn't get that many. Okay, so let's get to the items, and it should all be vampire themed, and less on specific like fantasy series, I think is what they said. So this is called My Last Sunrise. Ooh. I can read blood orange. The writing's honestly like kind of small. And there's a little insert in here. Okay, the writing's so small I honestly like can't really read it. Here, let me try. That morning I was not yet a vampire. Oh, that's from Interview with the Vampire, which I love. I actually remember seeing the movie Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise when I was about 16. I remember like very, very specifically because I was an impressionable age, and it was just like so kind of dark and gothy and sexy and everything. It takes place in Paris and New Orleans. Wonderful movie directed by Neil Jordan. I know the casting of Tom Cruise as Lestat was very controversial. I think Anne Rice, the author, did not approve of it. But I remember that movie so well. It had like a cult following at my performing arts high school. Everybody had T-shirts with the quotes from the movie and or book. I'm not as familiar with the book series, I'm sad to say. I have read a few things from Anne Rice, but I remember the movie version more, honestly. Okay, that smells. I don't usually use the word delicious except for food, but it honestly does smell delicious because it does smell like food. Yeah, it's very, very orangey. The writing's just so small and like fancy that's hard to read. I just see blood orange. But yeah, I will definitely be burning that, and that's quite clever. My first sunrise as a candle, and that's a great little scene, right, where Brad Pitt, he like has like his mortal death and reawakens as vampire, and everything was different. It's quite stunning. I don't know. I've got like a fascination with vampire films. I love like the classic Dracula. I love the older films. I love Interview with the Vampire. True Blood is one of my absolute favorite TV series. Even though it's really, really campy, I still like. I just love it. And I love kind of like the whole like Paris and New Orleans. I think this book, it takes place in New Orleans. There's just something about that, like the French culture being wrapped up in it that I really love. Although it's kind of funny because Bram Stoker is actually Irish and he lived in London when he was writing, and Dracula takes place in England, so I'm not quite sure where it became French, but that's okay. Dracula's from Transylvania, so I'm not sure how it became French, but we won't question it. Okay, so I love the practical items they've been including recently. Like they have like a utensil set recently, and I totally use that all the time. I just leave it at work and I use it for my lunch. So I quite recently moved from Florida to Nevada, and being a desert climate, it goes from 115 degrees, as it was this summer. I thought I was going to die. And now all of a sudden it's very, very chilly. You can see on my face right now, and I'm inside. So I get up very early in the morning to go to work, and it is freezing outside. Again, being desert climate, it gets a lot warmer during the day, but it's really, really chilly after the sun goes down. So in other words, I don't actually have a winter hat right now. So this is a little beanie, and of course to fit the theme, it says, "Bite me." And very pretty writing, by the way. So it's a little small, honestly. No, I'll totally be wearing this though, because I need to keep my little head warm in the. Oh, jeez, I thought I just did my hair. I need to keep my head warm in the morning time when I go to work, so I'll be wearing that most definitely. It's a tiny bit tight on me. Oh, but it's nice. I like it. I like the color. The bite me's a little funny, but it's so kind of like sort of like pretty writing that I almost don't think you really notice it. Yeah, I like it. I'm probably gonna like seriously wear it. And it's funny, I actually have a FabFitFun subscription, and they've got a little beanie hat and like sleeveless or not sleeveless fingerless gloves set. And it's funny, I'm getting a hat here, and actually got the sleeveless gloves from Alcrate in September. So I don't like they're kind of funny with like the designs, but I don't know, maybe I'll just use these instead and order something else from FabFitFun. Okay. Enamel pens, like, they're usually just kind of cute, and I usually just end up like putting them in a drawer and not really using them. But I have to say, I really like the ones we've been getting recently, and the ones like the one in last month's crate. I've actually been using it. I put it on my bag. It's like a little witch version of the Starbucks symbol, and I think I'm probably going to use this one too. Like, it's just so like kind of cute and classic and gothy. Like, that's just really cute, so maybe I'll just add it with my other pen on my bag, which is the bag I got in the last Fairyloot, so yeah, it all works perfectly. Okay. I like the night without the dark, we'd never see the stars. Stephanie Meyer. Okay, I know that's a really big name in like fantasy fiction, but I can't remember exactly what she wrote right off the top of my head. It's got like apples. I don't know. I think I'm never gonna try to guess. I know I've seen her books. Like I know she's like a popular fantasy writer. Okay, I'm gonna pull these out. I love the fact that they've been doing a tarot card series, and I love how big they are. Like, I don't really know all of the characters, but I really do like the design and that they're so large. I do need to order the Harry Potter ones that I missed out on. So, I'm not familiar with these characters. He's kind of wearing like a Star Trek looking outfit, and that's the Two Cups. Have no idea who this character is. I'm not really familiar with all my fantasy series, I have to admit. I'm listening to classical radio right now. I'm trying to like drown out other words, other sounds. Alright, and this is a gothic vampire 4-piece coaster set. Okay. So far, I've been really liking everything in this box. I don't know if I have a huge need for coasters, but hey, it's cool. So it's like a dagger. Oh, this is a bat. It's so like dark I could barely see it. Chalice, like very old, gothy looking one. And a rose. Well, it's a shame these didn't come like before Halloween, because these, like, not that I had like a Halloween party, but those would be absolutely perfect for a Halloween party. So because this is a UK box, I think I get mine a little bit later than everybody because I'm in the US. I don't know. This and the last one were both like perfect Halloween themed, so. But yeah, the coasters definitely would have been a nice little touch if anybody was having a Halloween party. Oh, this is from Dracula. Oh, you can't go wrong with Dracula. Wow, that's a blood red color there and very, very gothy looking. Okay. There are darknesses in life and there are lights, and you are one of the lights, the light of all lights. Bram Stoker, Dracula. That's really beautiful. I love the design. I almost would like kind of rather have it as an art print, because I would totally like frame that and hang it up. I think it's like a book sleeve and it's got a zipper. I think my nails are just like perfect for like the coloring and the theming of this box, by the way. So yeah, this is like totally big enough for like a very large book. So we'll see if the book that they sent us will fit in here. This is really lovely. Like, I almost don't want to use it. It's so nice, and I have always been obsessed with like Dracula, vampires, ever since I can remember. This is our art print. So I'm not quite sure like if that's coming from a particular piece of fiction. I can't say I recognize it. Now back to this being kind of like for an older audience. I mean, I think that depiction, it's kind of an adult, because the owl crate is meant for maybe like junior high and up, and this one definitely seems to be kind of like older teenager, early college age. Not that you can't enjoy it if you're older like me. I still like all sorts of kid stuff, especially Books literature. Okay, and this is the book itself, and I do appreciate that it always comes in this nice little pouch. Definitely, it's a nice little touch, and I definitely prefer that to plastic. Trying to get rid of all the one-use plastic in any way possible. And they did send us reusable straws last time, which I really appreciate, and I've been using. So that's a little bookmark. That's nice. This is an art print. Oh, it's a letter from the author. I really like that. It kind of makes me think of like Gone with the Wind meets Interview with the Vampire. So I don't know. It's like if Scarlett O'Hara was a vampire, you know? That'd probably make an interesting series, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't just announce that out loud. I should try like sell it as the new television series. Okay, we got the Fairy Scoop, Love at First Bite. The author appears to be French, at least by her name. Renee Adier, I would suppose is how you pronounce it. And this is telling me what the book is. I won't tell you quite yet. And then next month is going to be Magical Folk. It says this theme is inspired by folk that have some sort of magical powers. Fae, sorcerers, wizards. We had the best time working, blah, 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 blah. There are going to be 7 in total, so it's jam-packed. You can expect items in this box to be inspired by Spin the Dawn, Harry Potter, my favorite, Strange the Dreamer, Angel Fall, Fae in general, more. Okay, so can't go wrong with Harry Potter. If you say Harry Potter, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm there. Fae, wizards, yeah, you can't go wrong. Ooh, this is interesting. This is a map of the French Quarter in 1872. Not to be overly dramatic, but I've always truly wondered if New Orleans will ever look quite the same after Katrina. From what I heard, I don't know for sure. Actually, I'm a little ashamed to say I've never been to New Orleans. It's always been on my wish list, and I've driven through Louisiana before, but I never quite had time to stop off in New Orleans. But I love Cajun food. Some's a little spicy for me, but yeah, definitely I need to visit New Orleans at some point. Yeah, I want to stay in the French Quarter, you know, the old part of town. But I heard quite a bit of it was destroyed from that devastating hurricane, which is quite sad. Okay, so without further ado, this is the book, and it looks, you know, decadent and gothy. And I have to say, a lot of times I'm so busy with work and I have things that I have to read that I don't quite have enough time to read the things that come in these boxes. Oh, it's got a reversal dust jacket as well. This is one I might actually try to make the time to read. Make the time to read it because yeah, this does sound intriguing. I imagine that it takes place in 19th century New Orleans, since that's when the map was dated. And yeah, it does sound... I usually don't get that crazy about the covers, but that is really beautiful. Got a little smudge right there. Okay, so far I'm quite happy with this. I like the little touch of the historical map there. I like the theme of this box. I'll put the stuff in the book here. I'm not quite sure what series these are from. Oh, let me consult the spoiler card real fast. Okay. Keep your book safe in a super padded book sleeve featuring a vampire-tastic design and quote from Dracula, the most iconic vampire novel of all time. It's also got waterproof lining. That's nice to keep your book safe during all your vampire hunting adventures. That is nice. I remember when I lived in Miami, sometimes we would get some very heavy rain out of nowhere, and I've had a few books get ruined as they were in my bag, and I didn't have any rain protection at the time. The vampire-inspired beanie is perfect to keep you warm this winter. We also love the sassy undertone in the featured quote. Let's see. Are your droplets filled with blood? We mean water, leaving marks on your coffers. Fear not, we have included a stunning set of gothic vampire coasters designed by Blanca Design. We love them so much. I heard someone say that they weren't sure, like, if these really said, like, vampire that much. They're more just kind of, like, generally gothic. I don't know, there's, like, a vampire bat. As a vampire, you can't go out in the daylight, in most tales anyway. Would you remember your last sunrise? The stunning candle is inspired by Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. The name on the candle is a quote from the book, and the rest of the quotes on the dust-covered jacket. No, sorry, dust covered inside the jar. This I really like, and I love. I think it's like my last sunrise. It's like a witty name for a candle. Bats everywhere. This enamel pen couldn't be any cuter. We could put together a vampire box and not include a Twilight item. Oh, Stephanie Meyer, Twilight. Oh, okay. Can't say I'm a huge fan of that series. It's definitely written for a younger generation. It's okay. I've seen it. I've seen the films. They're okay. Let's see. And the beautiful vampire art print is gorgeous and will look great on your wall. Okay. Overall, in general, I probably was more excited about the... Oh, didn't tell me where the tarot cards came from. Because I don't know what series they're from. Oh well. In general, overall, I think I probably prefer the last box a little bit more. The Witches Be Crazy one. Just because I think like all the items like suited me so perfectly. It was so cute. I am like seriously going to be wearing this. I can actually really use that, which I totally appreciate. I think the little pin is adorable, and it suits the theming, and, you know, the time of year and everything like that. I think I'm a little bit more excited about reading the book than I have been for a lot of boxes. It's so funny, a lot of times I order these, and then I like don't get around to reading the book, which is like the main part. But I just like everything about it, like the theming and stuff and the items. And you say Harry Potter, and I'm just like, yeah, I have to get it. So it's kind of funny that sometimes I don't get around to reading the actual book. But I think I will try and make time to read this one. This, like the sticker and the art print are probably like my least favorite. These are kind of cool. Just a decoration. And I do really like this design. I can't really say I use the like book jackets, is that what these are called? That much, but it's just so pretty, and I love Dracula so much. Oh, let me see if like the book will go inside of it. Like, it's quite large, but the book is pretty hefty too, so maybe they were. Yeah, it fits perfectly. Yeah. Ooh, and look, it's got the sprayed edges in red, and it looks just like perfect in the book. So yeah, they obviously kind of designed it with that in mind. So that's very nice. Yeah, I think I like the book, at least like the theming of the book, a little bit more than usual. This is really gorgeous, and I'll get some use out of the hat. And I think I really like the candle because I do really love Your of the Vampire. I think they used a really wonderful quote there. In general, Fairyloot has been impressing me a lot. I wonder if it has anything to do with, I know a YouTuber in Scotland, her name is Book Roast. She's working for them. So I wonder if she's having some influence over some of the items and their theming and stuff like that. And she's a huge Harry Potter fan. So if that's the case, then I just have to say bravo. Yeah, I can't say I was like totally blown away with their boxes like a year ago, but right now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm totally there. I used to try and prefer Owl Crate, and Owl Crate's still great, but it's kind of switching where I actually prefer Fairyloot if they keep doing what they're doing right now. And it sounds like next month is going to be really good, and I guess I'll just keep subscribing at this point. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye.